Hey everyone, I was cleaning out my shelves over there and I found a whole bunch of old books I didn't even know I had anymore. So, let's go through them. So right here we have The Simpsons Forever, a complete guide to our favorite family continued. This was part of a series of, let's see, yeah, like season guides, I guess. Huh. Let's see, this one covers season 9, 10, um, I guess just season 9 and 10. Alright, pretty cool. Lots of neat stuff in there. Did they keep making these? They must still be making Simpsons, like, season guides, right? Why wouldn't they? Okay, next up, oh, this is something. A lot of these got dust on them. Grumpy Cat, Guide to Life, and it's a collection of old Grumpy Cat memes. Yeah, they made a book about Grumpy Cat. That's weird. Oh, and also there's a little thing on the back. This edition available for distribution only through the school market. So for some reason this was sold in schools. Okay, weird. And then what is this? Okay, a whole bunch of old Archie Digest books. Let's see. This one is a free comic book day Archie Digest book. Nothing Nothing really to say. They got a variety of different comics. There's like some 70s ones, 80s ones, modern ones. And then here we have a really old Laugh Digest. Let's see, number 74. How old is this one? 1988. Okay, so it's not that. Oh, okay, there's a little thing in the corner. Archie, 45th anniversary. And this has got a lot of dust on it. And flipping through this, I'm mainly familiar with the 70s Archie comics because uh, my great uncle had like a huge stack of old Archie comics from the 70s that I got to have. And so those are the Archies I'm most familiar with. And here we got another very recent looking one. Let's see. Hmm. When was this from? Okay, 2009 apparently. Very modern. And then here's a Jughead Digest, number 77 it looks like, and it looks to be an older one. Let's see, 1992. Okay, so it's not super old, but it's down there. And then here we got another kind of more recent one, Jumbo Digest. When is this from? Oh, and there's a commercial for the Sabrina show, so yeah, this must be pretty recent. There's Riverdale. Let's see, 2019. Wow, this. Why do I have this? It must have came in like a box of comics or something. Okay, next up, Dragon Ball Evolution. I guess that's the whole title. It's like a novelization of the movie. Dragon Ball Evolution is my favorite bad movie of all time. It's freaking awesome. And there we got stupid Goku and OK Bulma. Let's see. The only reason I have this is because I found it at the thrift store for free. And there's a big crease along the cover there. And oh, there's a commercial for the manga in the back. Goku's adventures continue. No, this Goku's adventures never continue. What are you talking about? Then there's some pictures in the middle. That's awesome. Wonder if I can put. Let's see. There's nothing super funny here. Dang it. I was hoping maybe there'd be like a funny image or something. Oh, well, anyway. Next up is, let's see, I got a pile of Garfield's Pet Force. Yeah, I remember back when this came out, I remember I saw this at a school book fair, and I was like, holy crap, a Garfield comic book? And then I opened it, and I was like, oh, it's a book. But I was still curious, so I got the first volume, read it, and I was kind of disappointed. I kept thinking, this would be so cool as a comic book or a cartoon. And then there was a second one, which, let's see, there's little stickers on the front, so must be I got this from a thrift store, even though I know I had this specific copy when I was growing up. again, it would have been great as a comic or a cartoon, and then there's a third issue, or third volume, book, whatever. I don't know how many they made altogether of this. Anyway, eventually there was a Garfield's Pet Force cartoon. I remember I saw a DVD, Garfield's Pet Force, and I was like, holy crap! They finally did it! They made a cartoon! And I remember I bought it, and man, I was really disappointed. And like I really, really felt ripped off. Like genuinely, holy crap, that was horrible. It was also like the first of the like post Lorenzo Music Garfield cartoons I'd seen. Ugh. Not a good introduction for them. And anyway, I'm still waiting to see if they make like a good Garfield's Pet Force thing based on those books, because those books were genuinely pretty funny and pretty cool. And I think there is maybe a comic book now. There was a Garfield comic. I actually have up there somewhere. There's a Garfield meets Grumpy Cat. I think. Maybe I don't have it anymore. Okay, anyway, moving on. Lyra and Bon and the Mirrors from Smile. I didn't know I still had this. I thought I had given this away, so yeah, I didn't include this in my My Little Pony book collection. There's also a couple other random books that I didn't include because I just didn't have them right on hand. But anyway, I remember I was really excited for this because I'm like, oh cool, Lyra and Bon, the fandom darling characters, and they had a cool little part in Slice of Life, the 100th episode special, and so I was really looking forward to this, and I read it, and it was... eh. It felt like a weird fan fiction. There was like all these weird original characters and things that had nothing to do with the show, and I think that book is kind of what inspired me and some of the few fan fiction things I've done, that I don't like to go too far outside what's been already established if I'm writing for like a show or a comic or something. I prefer to try to stay as best as I can within that world. There was some Power Rangers stuff I wrote a while ago, and I tried really hard not to make up too much of my own stuff. I wanted to mainly stick to what was in that world, because I thought that was way more interesting to tie in all these things that were pre-existing, rather than just explain everything away with all of this new original stuff. Okay, moving on. Here's some magazines, really dusty magazines. Here we got an issue of Cracked. Let's see, that I got because it's all about Digimon, kind of. Let's see. We've got Chumon there, Shogun Gekomon, Vetamon. Let's see, we got a weird-looking cracked-out tie, Salamon peeing on this guy's shoe, of course. Let's see, what else is going on? Okay, I guess that's everybody. There's no other... Oh, wait, no, there's a Pumpkinmon with a knife behind this sticker that's printed right on there. Okay, weird selection of Digimon here. And, if from what I remember, this wasn't particularly funny or clever. It was just, Oh, and... Oh, there's Pabumon in the back there drinking. Alright, then. Oh, and then we got one of these little Kiwimons. Wait, there he is, Kiwimon. Oh, and behind him is a Mamemon. Or, oh wait, no, not Mamemon, Mushroommon. Oh, and there's a, Niaramon. If I look, long enough, maybe there is, a Mamemon on there somewhere. Okay, whatever. Anyway, from what I remember, it wasn't very good. It was just kind of stupid. And I only have it because Digimon was, like, my favorite thing in the world for a while. And right here, we got a, Marvel Previews Marvel Now book magazine previewing a bunch of upcoming comics from, I don't know how long ago. When would this have been? I don't know, like, quite a while ago. And here's a really cool thing. I'd been looking for this all over the place. I didn't know where I'd put it. This is a really cool old horror comic collection, Terrors of Dracula, November 1979. And there's a whole bunch of really cool, like, horror anthology comics. Just frickin' amazing. The artwork's awesome. Very Tales from the Crypt reminiscent, and also very violent. Some of this is very violent and gory, from what I remember. And speaking of that, here we got an issue of Creepy. Let's see, number 39, May 71. Was this really from 1971? Yeah, I guess this is. I guess this is a really old issue. The back cover is missing, and the front was, like, taped on. You can see the yellowed tape, keeping the cover on there. I haven't read this in a long time. I don't remember much about it. Yeah, Creepy was another one of those horror anthology comics. Really cool stuff there. And here we got a Vampirella. For some reason, I can't pronounce Vampirella. Let's see. This one I think is a pretty recent issue. Let's see. Let's see. Take a look at the front. Oh, there's a bunch of commercials right in the front there. Stuff you can order. So where's the year? Okay, there it is. 2004. Okay, so 2004 issue of Vampirella, which I'm trying to remember. I think I did read a little bit of it. I can't remember exactly. And here we got Foom, #1, Friends of Old Marvel. And it looks to be like a preview thing, interviews with some people for upcoming comics in 2017. And here we got an Ultimate Marvel magazine, which collects some Ultimate comics. Has some interviews and previews and stuff in there, and I think I got this because Punisher is in it. Also, Snoop is in it, apparently. Alright then. And here's another Ultimate Marvel magazine. Don't know why I have this one. I guess I got it in like a stack of comics maybe at some point. Yeah, cool stuff there. And here we got another Marvel like free previews thing. This one's a lot more recent, 2019, January 2019. So this was put out in 2018, most likely. Now back to books. Here's a cool thing. Daniel Cohen is a name a lot of older nerds will probably recognize. He was the writer on a whole bunch of like horror and sci-fi informational books. Here we got Super Monsters, which is kind of like a little guide to a bunch of old horror movie monsters, and we got some cool pictures on nearly every page, so that is really cool. And I think this one, oh, there it is in the back. There's a picture of the monster from where is it? There it is. Night of the Demon there. I think that was the first time I ever saw that particular monster, and I thought it was so cool looking, and I really needed to know where in the world he came from. Oh, and there's Godzilla 1985, that's cool. And Creature from the Black Lagoon, that's a cool image. I don't think I've seen too often. Let's see, what else? Let's see. One of the cool things with these old horror movie books is if they have an entry on Godzilla, you can usually find some, like, really questionable information. Okay, well, anyway, really, really cool. Love this. And this is a neat thing. It's a, there we go. A box set of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, all 5 of the original books, and they're all really dusty, man. I don't know what was going on down there, but man, dust is, like, just stuck right to the books. Okay, this box set was put out in celebration of the big movie adaptation. Oh, and this is a UK box set, apparently. There's no US price on it. Huh. I got it at a library sale or something. But yeah, I remember I found this right when I was getting into Hitchhiker's Guide. They had, I can't remember if it was NPR or somewhere, they had like part of the radio show on, and I listened to it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then let's see. I think I took out the first book from the library, read it, fell in love with it. Then I saw the old BBC TV series, and then the movie was going to be on TV or something, but I missed it. Then I found this, and then it was on TV. I saw it, and it was okay. I like the movie okay. I like the TV series, I think, the best. Like, the first book is amazing. I love the TV series. The other books, they're really cool, and let's see. One of the books I really, really liked, but I don't remember which one specifically was the one that I really liked. I know a lot of the sequels, Hitchhiker's Guide, I wasn't super into, but one of them I really liked. Speaking of Hitchhiker's Guide and Douglas Adams, here we got Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, which I read and fell in love with, and I don't remember a thing about this now. This got a TV show, a couple of them, I think. Haven't seen any of that. And then here we got, it was the best of sentences, it was the worst of sentences, which is a collection of, like, weird grammar trivia, because I used to be kind of into that. And this is a cool thing, The Making of King Kong, Official Guide to the Motion Picture. I think originally this was like a promo thing that came with the DVD or the Blu-ray or something. But I just found it like at a yard sale on its own. And there's some cool information in here. I was a big fan of Peter Jackson's King Kong, and this was a really neat little behind-the-scenes look at a lot of the stuff that went into the making of that movie. Okay, now here's something that I used to see all over the place. Spider-Man Confidential, from comic icon to Hollywood hero. Like, this stood out because I'd see this on the shelf, and then Spider-Man, that pops out at me, but really it's just kind of a bland history of the character. Like, some of this is kind of interesting. Like, I haven't read this in forever, so I don't remember much about it, but I'm looking through it, and, yeah, I don't remember much about that thing. I just remember being kind of disappointed with it when I first read it, because I remember reading it, and a lot of it was, like, just really basic information. I don't remember there being much, like, really cool trivia in there. Okay, next up, here we got Alpha 5, 9 superb science fiction stories by the top flight writers in the field. I bought this at a church sale. There was a table full of books, and this one really stood out to me for some reason. Yeah, I saw Alpha 5, and it made me think of Power Rangers, and I knew there was not a book called Alpha 5. Oh, and a bookworm got to this, apparently. Hope none of the other books have bookworms in them. Whatever, anyway. I gave a few of the stories in here a read, and they're fine. It's not really anything too spectacular. It's like what you'd expect from a 70s sci-fi anthology book. Man, it's so weird that there was a bookworm in this. Like, it's not still in there. You can just you can see the hole that it dug through the book. Jerk. And then here we go. Oh, here's this thing. The Neverending Story book. Yeah, the original book that the Neverending Story movie was based on. And Neverending Story 2 also took inspiration from this. Man, look at this. I first read this book way back in middle school, and it had a different cover. I think they had the original cover. This one was, like, released specifically to tie in with the movie. There's Deep Roy there. Did you know that was Deep Roy? I had no idea that was him in the movie. Because he's dubbed over, it doesn't sound anything like him. And he's so young looking, I'm used to seeing him look far older. So anyway, I read this book back in middle school, and it blew me away. I thought it was just freaking amazing, and I loved that the movie stuck fairly close to the book, and it was mind-blowing when I found out the sequel to the movie was also part of the book. That the second movie was adapting, like, the second half of the book, and I thought that was really cool. And, I guess the writer, Michael End, wasn't super big on the movie. He didn't really understand what went into making a movie and adapting a story to a different medium. He seemed to think that everything should be exactly like how it is in the book. And I understand that, but also I think the movie did a really good job of translating the book to a movie as best it could. Or at least the first one did. I think the second one probably could have done better in some places. Okay, here we got UFO Crash at Roswell. I used to have a lot of these type of UFO conspiracy books. I loved this stuff. This is really, really cool stuff. And also kind of relevant now because of some stuff in the news about aliens and the government cover-ups and blah, blah, blah. I remember this being a pretty interesting book. And here we got something cool. Vulcan by Kathleen Sky. This was a really old Star Trek novel. One of the first Star Trek novels, I think. And it was kind of infamous because Kathleen Sky wrote her own, like, self-insert character into the book. And I remember reading about it, and I was like, that can't really be what it's like. And then I found this book, and I was like, oh, cool, I can read it for myself. And I read it, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. She put herself into the book. Like, she boards the Enterprise, and Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are all super excited to see her because she's the best woman in the world, universe. And Spock is like, I'm supposed to be emotionless, but, yeah, she makes him have emotions, and it is so funny. It's freaking ridiculous. I love it. Okay, and last up, I guess, is The Art of Space Jam. I remember I found this big Space Jam book at a thrift store, and I thought, oh, that's so cool, but I didn't buy it. The next time I went, it was gone, and I was like, oh man, that's so disappointing. And so I went to eBay, and I looked up, oh, cool, Art of Space Jam. Bought it, and I was very surprised at how big it was. It fits in the palm of my hand. Usually art books are quite a bit bigger for, like, an important reason, so you can get a good look at the artwork. But, yeah, they went minimalist with this, and, I guess that's something you can do. Like, this is still a really cool book, filled with lots of cool, like, concept designs and information about, like, the development of different things in the movie and how characters looked and all that. But man, it's kind of disappointing that it's so little. Oh well. Still, really cool. Also, I haven't looked at this in years, so this will be fun to give another look at. So that's it for all those books I pulled out of the shelf over there. Hope you enjoyed this. See ya.